What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you come into the channel. Check out the content. And with that being said, man, that Steph Curry GOAT conversation or owning this era, man, all of that stuff is heating up, right? And so the first person I heard say something like that was Kendrick Perkins. He started to come around and get on the bandwagon as far as Steph Curry, being the GOAT of this era. And the last person I heard, I did hear Stephen A. Smith say some things about it too, right? But the last person I've heard say that or join the discussion about Steph Curry was Paul Pierce, right? And so, I mean, these guys, although they late to the party, in my opinion, because I've been talking about Steph Curry, his 4 championships and him being the GOAT of this era. I've been talking about this for a while. But although they late to the party, man, I mean, he makes some good points when it comes to Steph Curry and his career and what he's been able to do during the so-called LeBron James era. And so let me listen to. I want to play this audio from Paul Pierce, and then I want to comment on what he said. As far as like Steph Curry.
If Steph Curry wins the championship or one more championship, let's say this year, gets the finals MVP, we are going to have some very, 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 very uncomfortable conversations. You know why? Because that's going to mean in the LeBron era, he would have won his 5th title with pretty much 3 different squads, the pre-KD, the KD, and the after KD. And then 3 of those championships he would have won without a top 75 player. In my eyes, he would have won this era with LeBron. So then that tells me, is he greater than LeBron? He won the era. He had, in the LeBron era, 5 chips. In the LeBron era, a unanimous MVP. That gotta hold some kind of weight. It's never been done. If we're talking about Bron as the greatest player, and a player in your era, in any year you were in your prime, won unanimously without you getting a vote, it's going to shake something up. We're going to start putting Steph up there with Michael Jordan.
I don't want to put him up there with Mike just yet, right? But I do like, you know what I mean? I do think Paul Pierce made some great points. First of all, yeah, the conversation, the discussion is going to be uncomfortable. But it's going to be uncomfortable for LeBron James because LeBron James has been directing most of his attention at trying to bring down the image of Michael Jordan and raise his profile, right? So but to add Steph Curry to his to this is going to make him uncomfortable because Steph Curry did all his damage during the LeBron James era. See, with the Michael Jordan thing, people can throw, they can throw like, oh, they didn't play in the same era. Mike had it easy. LeBron had it easy. You can throw all kinds of that, you could, all those distractions, you can throw those distractions at people. But when you have a guy who did his damage while you was sitting there, then what can you say? All you can do is just come up with more excuses, and no top 75. Steph Curry didn't have like Paul Pierce said, no top 75 ball players on his team. Whereas though that wasn't the case for LeBron James. I know that Dwayne Wade was the top 75. He played with probably Kyrie Irving, I think, was in their top 75. So that argument right there goes out the window for LeBron James. And again, that just make that discussion even, that just makes it uncomfortable, like Paul Pierce said. So then when you talk about another thing, like, is LeBron really greater when Steph Curry, 3 of his 4 rings came against LeBron James? I mean, let's think about that. his rings came, he did most of his damage against LeBron James. So that again, that's uncomfortable. Then he brought up the MVP. Now the unanimous MVP. Where they do that at? Like how you gonna win a unanimous MVP when LeBron James is in his prime? And like people's like there is no question that Steph Curry is the MVP. Not only, and he gonna get the unanimous, like LeBron James ain't getting no vote. And LeBron James, this is like LeBron James is in his prime, right? And so now one thing I want to push back on though, as far as like what Chris Paul said, I don't think Steph Curry really needs to win a fifth championship. I mean, right now, Steph Curry has played less years than LeBron James and has 4 championships. LeBron James had 4. I don't think he need. I mean, he has Steph Curry. It has gone farther into the playoffs this year than LeBron James. LeBron James they had a gentleman's sweep. They lost against who they lose against? Was it Houston? I forgot already. Yeah, no. Steph beat Houston. LeBron James and them lost against Anthony Edwards, Minnesota Timberwolves. So, they got knocked out in 5 against the Timberwolves, this season. And here we are. Steph Curry, his team is, I think they up 1-0 so far, but Steph Curry just tweaked his hamstring. But again, I don't think that Steph Curry need another ring. If he get a ring this year, that's just the nail in the coffin, in my opinion. If Golden State wins this ring this year, that's just a nail in the coffin as far as like, is he greater than LeBron this year? How, like think about this. During the Michael Jordan era, Michael Jordan kept some very, very good basketball players from not getting rings. If you had to go through Chicago to get a ring, it wasn't going to work. Charles Barkley didn't get a ring. When they had to face Mike when he's with Phoenix. Karl Malone had 2 opportunities to get a ring against Mike and lost both of them. Patrick Ewing couldn't get past Mike to get a ring. Gary Payton and Sean Kemp, when they was with Seattle, couldn't get a ring. I think Gary Payton did get one with the Lakers, but when it was, if it was up to Mike, he wouldn't have had nothing. Clyde Drexler had to wait for Mike to go play baseball and then go to Houston and get his ring. But when he was with Portland, he didn't see a ring. Now they did beat the Lakers and all those other guys. The Lakers had already had rings, but Mike, when Mike kept some serious dudes from getting rings. But you can't say the same thing about LeBron James. Dirk got a ring. Let me see who else got a ring and beat him. The Spurs, Tim Duncan got one of his rings against LeBron James. Steph Curry got like 3 of his rings against LeBron James. Let me see. I had the Dallas Mavericks. I got the Spurs. I got Steph Curry for 3. He lost. There's one more because he lost 6 championships. Was it Dirk was with Dallas? I don't know. I know one thing. If LeBron was really that dude, Dirk wouldn't have no ring. Steph wouldn't have no rings, plural. Who else? Or at least not have more rings than what you can't have a guy just sitting in there that beats you more often than you beat him, and then you consider yourself the best. That that argument just fall flat on his face. But I am glad that Steph Curry did his damage during the LeBron James era, so people can't say, well, you can't compare two different eras. We won't even have that issue with that discussion, you know. And Paul Pierce made a lot of good points, but I just think that Steph Curry really don't need another ring. I'm hoping that he do get another ring, so you know, that'll just shut that argument down. But you know, if he do, he do. If he don't, I still think that Steph Curry is the GOAT of this era. And so that's my take on it. Like, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, leave a comment. Let me know what you think about Steph being, you know, being the GOAT of this era. And let me know, do you agree with what Paul Pierce said as far as like we need to have some this will be a very uncomfortable conversation. I think for LeBron James, man, it'll just be another nail in the coffin, man. LeBron James, only person that LeBron James right now is lying to is himself. Everybody else just see the writing on the wall, and it's only gonna get worse. The longer LeBron James play in the league, the more obvious it becomes that, you know, it's over with for him, far as being the GOAT. But leave a comment, and I will check you all out in the next video. Peace.